Behold South Africa. Good morning, South Africa! What does footsack mean? Behold South Africa. Life. Real life. The thing that we've been denied for so long. Good morning, South Africa! Footsack! Yes! Footsack you too, my neighbors! What does footsack mean? Can somebody explain footsack? Yes, good morning! Unjani! Sabona! Sabunani! Footsack! Everybody! Yes! Have a good day, a good night, my neighbors. My neighbors, yes. Yes, sis. From America to South Africa. Yes. The Republic, yes, sir. Footsack, everybody! Footsack! Yes, footsack! I think that means have a good day in South Africa. Or it means good night. But footsack to you too, my brother and my sisters. Unjani, Sabunani.
It's a beautiful morning here in Cape Town, South Africa. Beautiful, look at this. It's Africa, baby, Africa. The Table Bay Mountain. It's gorgeous. This is Africa, baby, Africa. Feel like the Lion King.
Talk to me. What y'all done saw today? Everything cool?
Yeah, everything we see been good, man.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Exceed expectations, that's for sure.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's not running the mill, that's for sure. You'll see some quality stuff.
Some quality stuff.
Absolutely.
So somebody was asking me, can you buy property in South Africa?
Yeah, we know we can do that. You can definitely buy property in South Africa.
It's not a problem.
No question about that.
Put in your name and you can pass it down.
And put it in your name and pass it down to your people. So yeah, it's quite possible to do all of that good stuff.
Okay. You got anything you want to say?
In that regard.
Anything you want to say, high speed?
I want to give a shout out to Mark and his lovely wife, Dr. Latasha.
Okay.
They set this whole thing up from 2008,
Yeah.
and they perfected it. And as far as I'm concerned, from a spiritual point of view, these
I like
guys
that.
are the Moses of South Africa. Little Moses. Little Moses.
Yeah, baby Moses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think y'all should come on over here and see what's really going on.
If you are African American and you are thinking of visiting South Africa or moving to South Africa, this one is for you. So I've been getting a lot of questions from African Americans asking me the difference between the US and South Africa, having lived in both now. First of all, and I think this is the most important one, when you get to South Africa, or Africa as a whole, you are just another black individual trying to go about their lives. No one is going to stop you and ask you for a driver's license, etc. No. Besides Metro Police, they might just ask you for a bribe, but that's a different story for another day. Then, infrastructure is the same. Infrastructure is the same, guys. Our roads are the same. Our buildings are the same. Yeah, it's the same. There's no difference. The fact that they teach you guys that we have lions and tigers as pets, it's a lie. I mean, I wish I could have a tiger for a pet, but I don't, and I can't afford to have one, so no. Then, culture. So in America, when it comes to black people, you guys speak one language, you have a similar culture. In South Africa, we have different tribes and different languages. So you are black, yes, but you would probably assume to belong to a specific tribe. So if people speak to you in a certain vernacular language, it would probably be because they assume you to belong to that tribe. So if someone speaks to you in either Zulu or Sotho or Xhosa, etc., right? It's because you probably look that way and they would assume you to belong to that tribe, right? Then also, oh yes, your phenotype. So if you are mixed race looking. Right now, I refer to myself as black by race and colored by culture due to the fact that South Africa has different cultures and different tribes now. I am speaking for myself. I don't need another colored person coming in here saying, no, I'm not black. I'm not speaking about you. I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking about myself. Now, back to African Americans. So if you are colored or mixed race looking and people speak to you in Afrikaans, again, it's like I said, you will be assumed to belong to the tribe that you look like, majority of the time. Now, load shedding. Load shedding is a thing. So load shedding is the electricity gets cut at least once or twice a day for about 2 hours. Our government is working on it. They're 100% working on it. And hopefully by the time you get here, all is well. And then, your dollars will go a very long way in South Africa, guys. So if you have, say, $5,000, you will be balling. 100% you can go to the best restaurants and the best hotels. Yeah.
If one day I will ever come to, or rather if one day it comes to light that everything that Capt.Ibrahim Traore has been doing was a lie, or maybe he was just playing with Africa, with black people's mind and Africans' mind and all that, because there was a day that I found a comment. Someone was saying that this guy one day he will change and sell out black people and sell out Africans. If a day like that will come, then I'll be one amongst the people who will be brokenhearted so much. Like, I'll be one amongst the people who will feel very bad, and one amongst the people who will have fooled to a very huge extent. God forbid. Because me, I'm in for Traore 150%. He is my president. He is my leader. And everything he says, I will always come here and talk about it. I'll talk about it 100 times. I'll talk about it 150 times. Even if he will speak one thing and then he stays silent for another 100 days before he speaks something else, I'll speak and emphasize about this one thing he spoke about for the remaining 100 days. That is the work that I've given to myself. And I'm going to talk about him. I'm going to tell you about him. I'm going to preach his gospel so that everybody should know that in Africa, there is a revolution that has risen. Okay? And that is why every other time I come here, I will talk about him and talk about him and talk about him. When Traore said that black people should start coming to Africa, that African Americans, African diasporans should start coming to Africa, I was figuring out, how am I going to spread this news, to spread this gospel, so that everybody should know everywhere that Traore has spoken and he wants black people to come back to Africa.
So, going for a beautiful walk here in this beautiful day, and I wanted to share this message with you guys. By the way, I'm here in Lusaka, Zambia. Check the view out, y'all. Check it out. Okay, so with that being said, back to why I was making this video. Have you guys heard the news about Capt.Ibrahim Traore? That he's welcoming back the diaspora, back to Africa, back to Burkina Faso, right? So now, me being originally from the US, from America, but I've been living here in Africa now since 2020. I've always been, educating people, giving people advice on why they should move back to the continent of Africa. And also, the more of us that comes back from the diaspora to Africa, the more of us that comes here to invest, right? To do business here is better. Because we can't depend on the government or the president of any country in the world, to fix everything. Right?
And that is why you'll realize there are some videos that I normally do praising African Americans who support Capt.Ibrahim Traore, praising even white people who support Capt.Ibrahim Traore. Because me, anybody who supports Captain, anybody who feels like what Captain is doing is right, me and that person, we are friends. We are friends. Anybody who thinks Traore does the right thing to black people and to the people of Africa, me and that person, even if we don't know each other, we are definitely friends. Now, I'm going to spread this gospel of black people coming to Africa because he said it once upon a time and he cannot be repeating it every time. But it is my work as a patriot, as a Pan-Africanist, as a person who loves the continent of Africa, as a person who loves black people, to keep on reminding you all the times that you need to come back to Africa. I talked about Ghana some other time. I'm going to talk about South Africa today. For those people who have ever wanted to come back to South Africa, to come back to Africa, and especially to South Africa, these clips are made for you. These videos are made for you. South Africa is one of the beautiful countries here in Africa. I can tell you that for a fact. Those who have been there before, they're going to tell you, you're going to listen from them, they will tell you the truth about it. Because some people say they lie and all that. But let me tell you something. You don't need to believe them. You'd either choose to believe them or not believe them. But at the end of the day, those who have been there, they have an experience and they are expressing that experience out. Take a look.
When I first got here, the way that people treated me changed the way I think about life. Like I told y'all before, I have anxiety that's very, very bad. Actually, like I have a crippling anxiety sometimes. So being in a new country, after my dogs just got deported, I'm here with my 2 little kids, and you know, my partner is back in the States, not able to get here just yet. And I still wanted to explore. I didn't want my fear to keep me in the room because I know that I'll let it happen. And then I'll be depressed that my fear kept me in the room and I let anxiety win. So I said, no, we're not going to do that. I'm going to push through and just go out and see something, even though I'm nervous as hell. So I thought, okay, well, if I do a few things by myself, then I'll feel comfortable doing them with the kids. And then, you know, we can continue to do stuff. So the first day that I was there, after I had already done the stuff to help Kenzo get back to the U.S., I decided to go outside. I was staying in the city center area, and it was very intimidating for me because it was extremely fast-paced, and I am not used to that. I thought it was going to be a little bit slower, but everybody was out. Everybody was having a great time. There was a lot of noise, a lot of people, a lot of cars, a lot of horns. It was a lot. I'm overstimulated by the time I step out of the hotel door, but I'm determined to make a path so that I can take my kids out so they can see something too, because they're just as excited as everyone else. And they're also extremely bummed that Kenzo's not there with them. They have been so sad to the point to where they were crying at night, like, I just miss Kenzo. I just want to see Kenzo. And I'm like, kids, I know, like, he's coming back soon. Like, you know, they acting like he got deployed or something. But it was difficult for all of us. So I wanted to cheer them up by taking them somewhere. So first thing, I go out and I'm on Long Street. Soon as I go out, I see the doorman for the hotel and I ask him, like, is this a safe area? Is it okay for me to walk around by myself? He was like, yeah, you'll be fine. There's police or security everywhere. You're good. Like, you can go ahead. And I'm like, okay, I still take that with a grain of salt because I got to keep my eyes open, right? Mind you, it's like 9 o'clock in the morning, so I don't know what the hell I was scared of, but I was terrified. I went outside and I'm walking down the sidewalk. There's lots of people and everything's going good. I get to like one traffic light away from where I was at, and I was shook. Like, I'm still nervous. I'm surveying the area. I'm trying to figure out where I'm at and make sure that nobody's trying to get me. And by the time I reached the second light, I was terrified. I was about to turn around and go back because I was overstimulated. Nobody was doing anything to me. I was just afraid. I just turned around and started walking back towards where my hotel room was. And my the attendant to that hotel was standing there, and he like waved at me. He was like, "You good?" He just said like, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay," but like he could tell that I was nervous, and he like just with our eyes from 2 lights away from each other, he was like, "You're good. Like, go ahead." I was like, that little gesture meant so much to me, because it just felt like it's somebody that's kind of looking out for you. You know, I'm out here and it seems like I'm completely by myself. I don't know any of these people. I'm outside by myself. I'm scared as hell just because I'm nervous. And it was one person that was there that I don't know, that didn't stand to gain anything from me. And he just let me know, like, hey, I'm looking out for you. And it was an older gentleman. He had to be in his, like, 50s probably. And he just, you know, let me know, like, I'm looking out for you. You can go ahead and explore. You know, staying along this street, I can see all the way down there. And if something was to happen, maybe he would say something, call somebody, or whatever the case was. And it just gave me a sense of security to know that at least, you know, my dogs, there is one person that's looking out. And honestly, in a bad situation, you cannot put a price on that. I felt so grateful to just be able to explore freely with somebody that I don't even know, that said they're kind of looking out for me. And also, this is the same guy that would go up to every Uber and confirm that the Uber was taking me to the right place and that they had the right passenger and I had the right information for them. And he also did the same thing with my Uber Eats orders. Like, he would make sure that it was, you know, who they said they was, and I wasn't just getting too close to random cars. And I truly, truly, truly appreciated that. And it just gave me faith in humanity again. Shortly after that, Kenzo would return to South Africa and the party would really get started. I'm gonna tell y'all that in the next video.
Things I wish I knew as a Black American purchasing a home in South Africa. First of all, I wish I knew it was easier to purchase a home for me personally with my budget and resources in South Africa than it is in America. With that being said, I wish I also knew that you could get your house financed for up to 50% of the cost of your home, including the closing costs. Not all estates are created equal. There are some estates with 2 or 3 grocery stores. There are some estates with no grocery store. And so you want to pay attention to the specific estates.
Let's talk a little bit about what this experience has been for you, just being here in Durban, South Africa, and at the Resurgence Conference.
Wow, this conference for me has been a meeting of the minds. It shows me, it exemplifies the power that we have, not just as Africans and African Americans, but it shows me the power that we have collectively. I now know more than ever the importance of us coming together and working together. You know, for so long, so many people who haven't been to the continent don't understand the beauty, the essence, and most importantly, the historical value of our people. You know, I've said this whole trip, we are Africans. We are people that have been through the struggle, been through the fire, and still we rise.
I like that.
So imagine, not if, but when we collectively resurge and come together, no one can stop us.
Absolutely.
What's going on, y'all? I'm with my brother here. He's visiting from South Africa. And you've been gone how many years?
6 from New York.
So tell us this. How is it being a Black man in South Africa, an African-American man in South Africa?
Okay, well, I'm living my best expat life in Cape Town. I love it there. Things are very affordable for me. My quality of life is extremely high. And I just don't have to worry about a lot of the...
You got a pool in your backyard.
No, it's great. It's great. Like, I have all of the modern amenities that you would think that might be missing in South Africa, you know, but yeah, like everything's great. You know,
how are South Africans towards Black Americans?
They love us. Yeah. I mean, you know, there's the shared cultural experience of having to navigate white people so close to home in that way. So with their experience of apartheid, They understand a lot of the Afro-American struggle and how we've had to navigate white people. Additionally, there's a lot of cultural exchange, you know, so now Amapiano has spread out to the U.S. as I'm seeing, but you know, Amapiano is also partly derived from house music. So, you know, there's generations of cultural exchange that have going back and forth, and so, you know, they love us. You know, yeah.
How the food?
Currently in a relationship with the South African.
You in a relationship with a South African?
Yeah,
All right, you done got hooked.
Yeah, got hooked. How's the food? I love South African food. So you have various cuisines, you know, here. I'm saying here. I still think I'm in Cape Town, y'all. You know, there's a variety of different cuisines. So you have your Indian cuisine, you have your Cape Malay cuisine, you have Nguni cuisines like Hausa food, and I hope that was the right click.
Okay.
If there are any Nguni people listening right now, I hope that was the right click. I tried. I'm getting better at it.
What do you recommend to any African Americans that are looking to move to South Africa? What do they need to do? We got a few seconds here.
Okay, so firstly, what track are you taking to get to South Africa, right? So there are retirement visas available. There are student visas available. Some people do visa runs, but that's not a sustainable option. I suggest that you find a durable, long-term way to come and stay if you want to. But if you even are coming to visit, like, you're gonna live beautifully.
You know, there are people who think there is only some countries in Africa which are beautiful compared to other countries. That this country is beautiful than this one is beautiful than this one. Let me tell you something. Africa is beautiful, all of it. And for you to believe what we are saying, I have to show you these countries and people who have been there so that they can be able to give you an experience. It is only that some other countries like South Africa is a famous country, Ghana is famous, Kenya somehow, Nigeria and all that. But we have other countries out here that I'm going to talk about them one by one to the end. I'll even talk to you about Djibouti, the smallest country in Africa. All the countries in Africa, I'll talk to you about them because African Americans have been visiting these countries. They understand the beauties of this country. They understand how these countries are. So for the people who want to go to South Africa is one of the beautiful countries here in Africa. One of the beautiful countries. Yeah. It is the country that is at the end of Africa, at the corner, yeah, of Africa. The southern part of Africa. It is the only country that is located at the southern part of Africa. Yeah, that's why it's called South Africa. And it's beautiful. And if you want to go to South Africa, you've listened to those people, you've heard what they say. And I think now you can come to South Africa one day. When you want to come to Africa, it's not a must you come to the countries that you know, maybe the countries you've seen. There are many countries you can come. There are many countries you can go to. There are many countries you can visit. And South Africa is one of them. Now, the essence of black people, and I'll remind you all the times, of black people and African Americans, African diasporans, those who have not been to the country for many years, the essence of them coming back to Africa is to unite with the black people, to unite with the black people who are here in Africa. Yeah, to unite with their brothers and sisters, to see the motherland, to see their roots, where they came from, where they were originated from. And I'm glad because there are black people who finally understand this, who finally have gotten the music. They're dancing to this tune. Yeah, because when they finally get to Africa, they don't go back to America. I've seen many of them admitting, since I stepped here, I've never had a feeling of going back to South Africa and like to America. And therefore, this is the place that I'm going to be. This is the place that I'm going to live. If you go to South Africa, South Africa is a place where you can acquire land, you can build a house, and nobody will ask you a question. You live peacefully. There are beautiful sceneries, there are good air, fertile soil, and all that. And that is why Afrikaners, the white people who are in South Africa, they don't want to get out of South Africa. Why? Because South Africa, number one, is beautiful. Number two, there is fertile lands. They're farming, they're doing farming, they're producing crops, every kind of crops and all that. And they know very well, if we go back to the US, if we go back to America, we will not be able to get this kind of land, this kind of fertile land in Africa. So my question is, why should Africans who are in the US, who are in diaspora, keep on sticking there? They don't want to come back to Africa. And yet we have white people in Africa who now they know the beautiful they know the importance of being in Africa and the importance of living in Africa. They cannot get out of Africa. Why? Because they know Africa is beautiful. And you are there, a black person in the US, you don't want to come back to Africa because you think Africa is not a good place, because you think Africa is poor, because you think in Africa there's no good places, because that is what you were told. That is what was told to you. I want you to start getting that mind of you, getting that knowledge of you, and start thinking another way. Start reasoning in a different way. Africa is beautiful. You come to Africa, you'll see the beautiful natures of Africa, the beautifulness of Africa. You'll see it. You're definitely going to see it when you come to Africa. I urge everyone to come back to Africa. That is what I want, and that is what I need. That is what our greatest leaders, Kwame Nkrumah, talked about it. Yeah, many other leaders in Africa, they talked about it. Yeah, those who want the unity, those who want black people to unite, to come back together, to speak the same language, to do the same things, to reason together, to make the same decisions. They wanted black Americans and African Americans, African diasporans, all of them to come and unite with their fellow brothers. And now that those ones are gone, they are not there anymore, the latest Capt.Ibrahim Traore, who is with us right now, he is also supporting the same thing, the unity of black people. When you listen to him speaking, he will tell you, whether you are in Senegal, whether you are in America, you are an African, whether you are in Europe, whether in Belgium, whether in Germany, whether in England, whether in Italy, whether in Spain, you are an African. As long as you bear a black color, you are an African. And here is where your home is. So therefore, we all need to come back to the continent and take over the continent, because this place belongs to us. They are keeping you there. They are here in Africa exploiting and doing all kinds of things, because they know if they allow you to come back to Africa, you will stop them from doing what they are doing. Therefore, let's come back to South Africa. It's a beautiful country. It's a beautiful continent. Let's go there and witness. You can come there for tour and then go back. Yeah. And after going back, you will have had an experience, then plan and come back for good. Africa is home, and anything that concerns Africa concerns me and you as black people. This is the African Streamline, and I am Atamba Heti. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for always being here. If it's your first time to be here, do not forget to subscribe. For the returning subscribers, I salute you. God bless.